Big win, much needed win, man, to relieve some of the pressure. Ollie made a lot of changes, went with the 5 at the back, 3 at the back, whatever you want to call it. That's our first clean sheet in a long time. Ronaldo shone today, Cavani shone today. Did Solskjaer show something different to you? Did he show something that was a bad result against Liverpool in a bad couple of months and he can turn it around? Or did you see something different?
I'm conflicted, Flex, man. It's a tough one because obviously last week was... I said it a few times and I don't want to sound like I'm overreacting, but last week was quite possibly the worst thing I've seen as a United fan, you know, against Liverpool, and that's not acceptable. And to be fair, the spin on that, what I saw in the week as well against Ollie was a disgrace as well. Some of the leaks I saw coming out, them talking about Conte, Rodgers, and he's still in the dugout. I don't like that. I think that leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I don't like that. And so he got the brunt of last week, and that's not fair because 11 players were out there as well, and they were all a disgrace.
He said he was going to fight back, Ollie, personally. Do you feel like he showed that today?
And he got the brunt of that last week. So got to give him the credit today. Switched the team up. Don't get me wrong, before the game I was like 2 changes, I was fuming. But as a fan, when you see the players drop a performance like that last week, you want to see them all dropped. But obviously, sometimes the manager knows better, you know. And today, got to give him where credit's due, bro.
Why did it work for us today? What was it? Was it Spurs being particularly bad? Was it good tactical decisions from Ollie, good organisation from the players? Was it players putting in more effort, more application? Why did it go so well for us today?
Listen, I'm not saying it's all Ollie. Spurs poor, and I said during the week, if we wanted a game of football after that defeat, it'll probably be Spurs Nuno. So a mixture. Cavani was due a game. The team he chose, the setup he chose against that Spurs side, who aren't creating much, who aren't scoring much, probably was spot on. And Varane coming in, a mixture of everything. So I'm not going to be going home shouting from the rooftops because we beat a poor Spurs side, but Ollie rang, well, not rang, but he done 2 changes and it worked. So we're going to give him the credit where credit's due, and that's that. But I am conflicted because that, you can't forget what happened last week. That was...
But not even just last week, because I could feel the pain in your voice. I think you know what I mean? It's like you can't move past that. And I hear you. But even taking away, because I felt like even when during the week in the breakdown of it, a lot of the post-match stuff from that was about just that Liverpool game and how bad we were, and not so much about actually Villa at home, Everton at home, Leicester away. Do you know what I mean? You have said that.
You need a pattern. It needs to be consistent. Now, we've dropped the performance we did last week and come in here, walked all over them. And that's great. I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing for Ollie. I'm buzzing for the players to bounce back like that. Don't get me wrong. After a defeat like that, to get a clean sheet, to get 3 points, I don't care how bad they are. This is an away game. It's a tough away game. And to react like that, that's mad. I wasn't expecting that. So that was a nice surprise. But, yes, last week was poor. But the main problem on the whole is that we don't know what's going to happen on Wednesday. We might be 2-0 down at half-time again. And that's the major problem. That's the major issue. That we're flipping a coin, rolling a dice, and hoping the right numbers come up every week. There's not a... If that's Liverpool on Wednesday, you know you're getting a performance, you're getting 3 points. And then City, you know they're going to give them a game. Whereas us, we might go and lose on Wednesday and then go beat City. And that ain't sustainable.
And it's those inconsistencies.
That ain't sustainable. And that last week ain't going to lose him his job. And I probably agree with Gary Neville. He'll probably get to the end of the season. And he didn't lose his job. But he's going to get to the end of the season. And if we're going to be this inconsistent, that's what's going to ultimately lose his job. Because we're going to end scrape 4th at best, not win a trophy again. And that's what will lose him his job at the end of the season. But again, I don't like being negative. I'm a positive boy. I'm a positive boy, and I'm not going to say Ollie out. I'm not going to say papering over the cracks. I'm not going to say all of this rubbish. So credit where credit's due, but I can't forget last week. He's still in the dugout.
On the positivity,
he's still in the dugout.
Yeah.
We'll see how Wednesday goes.
And he's definitely going to be for the foreseeable.
And we'll see how Wednesday goes. We'll see how next Saturday goes. Because we can't do much more.
On the positivity then for tonight, let's talk about some of the individual performances, because there were some. Who really stood out for you today in a good performance?
Varane, I thought McTominay was
Liked him today.
properly. The thing is, I've banged on about this as well. We ain't got a defensive midfielder. All our midfielders are probably better off as the second midfielder, box to box, bombing up and forward. And you saw with the protection of the back five, you saw McTominay, he was everywhere. Back, forth, winning fouls, winning balls. He put a ball into Ronaldo, he was offside for the goal. Brilliant. Wan-Bissaka, I've criticised him a lot because going forward, I don't think he's the best. And there's lapses of concentration defensively when I expect him to be good enough that I don't like. But today,
He was there.
brilliant.
Yeah.
I'd say them three. Ronaldo, I don't need to mention him, you know what I mean? And by the way, I've heard a lot of Ronaldo being the problem. He's not the problem. Let's get that very straight. Ronaldo is not the problem.
Does it prove just how to use Ronaldo? Like giving him chances, getting him in behind.
That's my worry with the back five. Because, yeah, it got us a result today, but when I saw that lineup, that felt like Cavani, Varane, Maguire, Lindelof, Ronaldo, Fred and McTominay in the middle. That felt like we're in a dark place, and he needed that, and he needed them players, and he trusts them players, and that didn't feel like that's us long term. It obviously isn't. That felt like I need to get through today. I need to get through Wednesday. Because I won't be surprised if it's the same team Wednesday, and I won't be surprised if it's next same. But that's not the long term. That can't be the long term vision. We can't afford to have Rashford, Sancho, Mason Greenwood, Paul Pogba on the bench. You've got to get the best out of them players, because you. Exactly. You can't afford to have that on the bench. So that felt like a survive. I don't know how to put it, but it just felt like I need 3 points anyhow.
Patch up the wound. Patch up the wound. Stem the bleed.
But that's the problem with the back five. So it's about how to use these bunch of players, how to use Ronaldo. And you saw what he done today. That goal was ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. So he ain't the issue. The issue is trying to find a way of playing, consistency, and fitting all them the riches in, because it's riches, bro, and we shouldn't be anywhere. We should be up there with Chelsea, and that's how you start a season. They've won 8 out of 10, but we're not, and that's why questions are being asked, and that's why if it continues, you'll ultimately pay the price. But to get through the next week or so, I won't mind. I won't mind.
Finish off lastly, give me a man of the match.
Between them three, it's tough. I say Varane, man. Rafa Varane. It was clean sheet. I think it was one clean sheet in 21. Come in here.
Done his thing. Happy.
Grabbed Maguire, grabbed that whole back line, because the whole back line's been shaky, to say the least, especially that left-hand side, and Lindelof hasn't been great either. And he's grabbed all of them and said, listen, we're going to get a clean sheet here today, we're going to get the 3 points, and we're going to move on to Wednesday. He might not have done nothing on the eye or nothing special, but he went out there and said, look,
just the presence of being
there.
That's
a player. That's a player. A player who's capable of doing that. That's a big, big player.
Yeah.
So keeping him fit is important. In our back three is probably even better. So McTom, shout. Wan-Bissaka, shout. The front two, a big shout. But to keep that clean sheet, get out of it with it. Rafa Varane.
Bro, see you next game, man. Always love.